Hello, good day everyone. I am Madhavi Gopavajjula. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you all today. Thanks to the PMI Hyderabad chapter for giving me this great opportunity to share my thoughts on the topic of artificial intelligence and on the practical ways of AI in transforming agile project management. So when people hear the term artificial intelligence nowadays, immediately uh, they would come to a thought that they would be wondering whether AI will replace the technology roles, including the project managers. But I see it differently. In my experience, AI is most valuable when it removes our tasks which are day-to-day repetitive work, helps us in processing information faster and supports better decision making by us as leaders. It doesn't replace leadership, it creates more time for leadership. That's my view. Throughout today's session, I would like to share practical examples of how AI can support agile project managers across the project lifecycle while keeping people, collaboration, and accountability at the center of every decision. Let's move on. Okay, so before discussing artificial intelligence, I would like to share briefly why this topic is personally meaningful to me. I have spent more than 3 decades working in project management, program management across different organizations and global teams. Like many experienced professionals, I reached a point where I had a choice, like continue doing things the way I always used to, or continue learning newer things, innovating, exploring. Then I chose the second one, which is learning. After completing my PhD in commerce, I enrolled myself for an MCA because I wanted to understand technology more deeply, such that rather than simply managing the technology projects, I can understand better. During the preparation of this presentation also, artificial intelligence became my learning partner. It helped me organize ideas, compare concepts, and improve explanations. Rest assured, but every conclusion, every example reflects my own professional experience. That's why I say AI accelerated my preparation. It didn't replace my responsibility. Okay. So let's see how it is useful to us in day-to-day life in the coming slides. Okay. So why every agile leader should care? Naturally, this question will arise to all of us, right? Uh, Today's projects are very different from those we had managed just a few years ago. You all know that teams today are distributed across locations, stakeholder expectations, faster delivery, and project data is increasing every day. Enormous data. The expectations from project managers are continuing to be growing like in a very fast pace. We spend significant time in preparing the reports, attending the meetings, okay, coordinating with the teams, various teams, internal, external, responding to constant changes, etc. So I think this is where AI begins to make a significant difference for all of us. So instead of spending hours creating documents or summarizing information, artificial intelligence helps us. It helps us complete routine work much faster. That gives us something far more valuable time, right? So the time we can spend to coach our teams, time to engage with the stakeholders, time to make better decisions. In short, what AI gives you is it allows you as project manager to spend less time on repetitive tasks like documenting and more time to leading. That way you can make a mark on the productivity. That's why I think every agile leader should care about artificial intelligence. Okay, up to this point we have discussed why AI matters to all of us as leaders. Now let us look at where it creates practical value for agile project managers. One of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it's only useful for software developers, right? It's only useful for complete technology people like developers and architects. In reality, what I experienced is AI can support project managers throughout the entire project lifecycle. Let's look at a few practical examples. As you can see on the slide, AI can help identify project risks much earlier. How it does that? Analyzing historical trends, dependencies and project data. So you have to give some inputs to it. It will analyze the upcoming risks which are hidden, which you cannot estimate today. It can support resource optimization as well by identifying workload imbalances and improving resource allocation. So you give the inputs to AI tool stating that these are all my resources, this is the work allocation that I have planned. Do you see any bias? Yes, AI will bring it out. Communication is another area where AI delivers significant value. I would say it's a great value in communication. It can draft stakeholder updates, summarize meetings, and tailor communications for different audiences. That's a great advantage to you when you are completely messed up with your work and don't have a time to respond to a senior stakeholder or a senior manager from a management team. You can just give the idea to AI. It will draft a very professional mail to respond on your behalf. AI can also improve schedule forecasting by analyzing previous sprint performances and highlighting potential delays before they become critical. Of course, for that you have to maintain a record of previous sprint activities, whether it is Jira or ADO or anywhere. From a financial perspective also, AI can support budget management by tracking the expenditure, identifying variances and improving forecast accuracy. So, I'm very sorry. We all use a tool like Clarity for tracking the budgets, right? You can directly um, link the output of Clarity to AI Excel and start improving the forecast accuracy. Another exciting application is team performance analysis. Rather than relying only on intuition, right? So when you are analyzing the performance of team, somewhere there is a possibility to introduce bias by human beings. But what AI can help here is it can identify delivery trends by each individual, the bottlenecks faced by the team, and continuous improvement opportunities. So it removes bias there. Finally, AI assists with scope management by highlighting requirement changes and helps team in maintaining alignment throughout the project. So the important point here is that AI is not replacing project managers. It's expanding our ability to analyze information adequately, anticipate the issues well in advance, make better informed decisions as leaders. So as project managers, we remain responsible for every decision. AI simply helps us make those decisions with better information. So, after seeing where AI creates value, let's look at how it changes our everyday work as project managers in the next slide. Okay, so this slide shows the practical impact of AI in everyday project management. Traditionally, many of our activities require considerable manual effort. I think you agree with me, right? Writing user stories by the product team, identifying risks by the project manager, estimating work, preparing meeting minutes, drafting stakeholder updates. AI changes the way we approach these activities. So I would say instead of starting with a blank page, artificial intelligence provides you an intelligent first draft. So instead of reacting to risks after they occur, which normally happens in projects, artificial intelligence can help you identify the patterns much earlier. Instead of spending hours in preparing the reports, AI summarizes the information very quickly within minutes. At the bottom of the slide, you'll also see practical examples from day-to-day project management. So as you can see, AI can prepare structured status reports. Whether the status reports are meant for program team, regular status reports, weekly status reports, or it is meant for reporting the project status to senior management or to an impacting stakeholder. You can, AI can customize it in the tone required. It can also suggest risks and it can mitigate mitigation actions for raid logs. So AI's role will not stop with the reporting. It can suggest the mitigation actions for various risks it identifies, right? So when you give the inputs to artificial intelligence tool, it gives you complete information about that, about the risk. What is the risk, when it is going to occur, in which phase of the project, what is the probability, what would be the impact, how you can mitigate. All these things it will give you in seconds. Okay. Then the stakeholder communications, as I already mentioned, it takes a lot of time to maintain the communication every day, which you can pass on to AI tool for providing the regular routine communication responses. Again, identifying recurring lessons from retrospectives, that's one of the key area for agile project manager to improve, to have continuous improvement in his team activities, right? That can be handed over to AI. The important point again is this: AI does not remove the need for professional judgment. It removes repetitive administrative work. That allows us more time to spend where project managers create the greatest value. We can build relationships in that time, we can solve problems, coach the teams, lead changes. So normally in our day-to-day work, we don't find for time for continuous improvement. We can take this advantage of AI tool and get more time to lead changes, right? Okay, so throughout today's presentation, we have explored where AI adds value and how it supports we as Agile project and program managers in their day-to-day work. I would like to touch upon one important question. Where should AI stop? And where should human leadership begin? The answer is actually quite simple. AI and project managers have different strengths, right? AI excels at processing information. We excel at leading people. On the left side of the slide, you can see the kinds of activities where AI delivers tremendous value. It can generate faster drafts of documents, summarize large volumes of information, analyze trends and patterns. It can recommend possible next steps and automate repetitive administrative work. These capabilities helps us as leaders to become faster and more productive. But speed alone does not make a project successful. You know that. We all know that. So, moving to the right side of the slide, there are responsibilities that remain uniquely human. Okay, so project managers inspire teams. We make ethical decisions. We negotiate when priorities conflict. The tool does not go to the stakeholders and negotiate with them, right? We build trust with stakeholders. Ultimately, we remain accountable for project outcomes. These responsibilities cannot be delegated to artificial intelligence tool. However, using AI effectively also means using it responsibly. I have combined these 2 points here. If you see, there are 3 principles down below. I encourage every project manager to follow. First of all, always validate AI generated content before acting on it. Yes, it gives you a lot of advices. It supports you in bringing out required risks and the mitigation actions, the way you can communicate with the stakeholder, everything it will list and give it to you. But before acting on it, have a review. AI is an excellent assistant, but it can also occasionally produce inaccurate or incomplete information. So we cannot directly take the mail compiled by it to the stakeholder. There may be certain mistakes. The context is known to you better. So have a review. Second, you have to protect the confidential and sensitive data as a leader. It's your responsibility. We should never share organizational or customer confidential information with public AI tools unless it complies with your organization's security policies. So always follow the security policies before sharing any information to AI tool, any AI tool. So if a tool is provided to you by your organization to use artificial intelligence, read the information security policy. What can be shared, what cannot be shared, even to that approved tool. Finally, always follow your organization's artificial intelligence policies and governance usage guidelines, because responsible usage builds trust, right? Not only on AI but also on us as professionals, because ultimately the mail or the report or anything, any output goes from you as a leader. It doesn't go from artificial intelligence. So you have to be very responsible here as a professional and combine the analytical capability of AI and generate the output with proper responsibility. Okay. Ultimately, if you see, the human judgment, empathy, and accountability, these remain with us. We create the best possible outcomes for our projects and our teams only with these, right? Our judgment, our empathy, and our professionalism. So before we conclude this discussion, I would like to leave you with one simple thought. Okay. So the summary is that AI recommends, project managers decide. Okay. AI recommends and project managers decide. I think you can grasp the summary of this slide, what humans must do with this code. Okay. So as we come to the end of today's session, I would like to leave you all with one final thought. Throughout this presentation, we have explored how AI can improve planning, communication, reporting, analysis, and decision support. But despite all these capabilities, one thing remains unchanged. Projects are ultimately about people, right? Technology can process information, but it is people who can inspire confidence. Technology can analyze patterns, but it is people who understand emotions. Technology can recommend options, but it is only leaders who can make responsible decisions. So, the future of project management is therefore not about choosing between humans and AI. It's not between humans and AI. It's about combining the strengths of both. So, AI gives us speed, human leadership gives us project purpose. So, AI increases efficiency, human judgment creates trust. And when these two come together, we become better project managers than either humans or AI could ever be independent, right? I'd like to leave you with one message. Again, the future belongs to agile project managers who combine human judgment with AI capability. Thank you all. Thanks for giving this opportunity to me to Hyderabad PMI chapter once again. Thanks.